So tips for researching majors on college websites. So make sure you're looking for the official school website. It's always going to end in .edu. Go to the admissions page. It has requirements, dates, campus visit information. The academics page is going to have those majors, minors, certificate, and courses. Look at first year housing if you're going to live on campus. What clubs and organizations do you want to join? Kind of look in that particular piece. It might come up under like student life. And then health and wellness resources. Super important if you're looking for counseling, if you're looking for a gym, what classes do they have at the gym? Do they have a pool? Because for you, pools are just really important to have as well. So go ahead and research the college website. Use a search tool because a lot of times that's really helpful. And just type in what you're looking for. Usually they're powered by like Google or Bing, and so it can usually read your mind anyway. All right. So the goal of Uprooted Academy is to bridge the gap in social capital between people who might not have it as it relates to college and the college process and journey. And so you'll hear me say that a couple of times. And so what is social capital? It's really the unwritten and written rules that can help you achieve success, and for you, particularly in higher education. And so what does that mean? The unwritten rules are, for people who have family who've gone to college, they might say, hey, make sure when you get to campus, go to the involvement fair because you want to get involved, you want to meet people. And it's because they have family or friends or teachers who can kind of tell them to do that. And they feel comfortable having asked them, those questions of what should I do? And so for those of you who don't know, you might be in your dorm, you don't even know what's happening because you're not looking for it. So if you're not looking for it, it might not just come your way, right? Social capital is after you interview within 24 hours of any interview that you do, or anytime you meet someone that you want to stay connected with, you have 24 hours to send them a thank you note. And so why do you do that? Oh, because after 24 hours, usually your short-term memory goes away. And so you might not be able to jog their memory. But if you do that, you instill that moment that you all both had. And so again, unwritten rule. So when they're looking for someone for something and you tell them that you do that and that, thank you note of meeting them and reminding them who you are, they might reach out to you. And so you're like, man, I wonder if I can network with this person, but by the time you need them, they don't remember you. So again, there's so many unwritten rules for success. And so the goal of this program is to go ahead and bridge that gap for any of you who feel like you don't have it. Hopefully at the end of this program, you have it, not only for yourself, for your community, and then for the next generation as well. And then code switching. So code switching, a lot of you have already done a lot in your life. You might not have known it. I remember when I was younger, my mom, she could be, talking to my brother and I, basically yelling at us, disciplining us, whatever the case may be. And then the phone would ring and she would answer. She'd be like, hello. And I'm like, wait, what? What? Like you were just enraged, or we'd be out in the store and I did something stupid and she would just give me the look. And I'm like, okay, I know what that means. And then as soon as we get in the car or back home, like she remembered. So she knew that when she was in the store or when she had to answer the phone, she had to be professional and, put together. But when that wasn't the case and I needed to be disciplined, she gave it to me. The same is true for me. If you see me around my friends, turn up, right? Like we have so much fun together versus if you see me at work, versus if you're listening to me here, versus if you're with my cycling or surfing community. So I am all me, right? I'm not saying I'm different people, but you know what? The jargon, the language that I use around my surfing community, the things that I talk to them about is going to be different than what I talk about with my close friends. And so you want to shift your languages or expressions you use during certain conversations. And this is really important, especially when we're talking about interviewing, going on campus, open house, right? You want to put forth your authentic best self, right? And so it doesn't mean you change who you are. It just means that you fit the environment that you're in. And again, you're still who you are because I'm still Tiffany and you're going to hear that throughout the conversation. So even, for example, I remember I was like, my authentic self is not perfect. And so I don't want to make these videos super perfect where, no one can hear anything that went wrong, right? If I mess up a word, I'll just correct it. Like we don't need to always cut it. Some of the things will be cut because maybe it's just a lot of mistakes. But for the most part, we all need to see each other in our authentic self and kind of what our best foot forward looks like. And I do want to let you know to search the web. So this is going to be one of your first activities in the workbook, and you're going to think about a school that you want to go to. And so these are some different kind of phrases that you could use to find out more information about that school. So the fact sheet at this particular university, first year student profile at this particular university. That's where you're going to get that SAT, GPA, ACT, AP score data. Average test scores for admissions, if you want to look at that. The fact sheet is going to show you where students are from and how much aid they might give. Or you can just ask average amount of financial aid for students at University XYZ. So those are some prompts that you're going to have to do to practice, because Google is going to be your best friend, especially if you just have me on here and you're by yourself through this process. Maybe you don't have a counselor that's really accessible, or they're just overwhelmed. You want to feel empowered to get the information that you need. And so in the workbook, there's going to be lots of different organizational tools. There's going to be a scholarship tracker. There's going to be a password keeper. There's going to be a submission tracker, your final list. All of these different things are going to be in the workbook. And this is like one example of it. So you're going to put like the name of school, the deadline, the type of admissions, where you're going to apply. Is the SAT or ACT required, AP required, number of supplemental essays required, number of recommendations required, CSS, all of these things you're going to know, right? And then the date submitted. So organizational tools, don't overlook them. The goal is for you to use every single piece of information in the workbook, because I know that it can help you, and it can help take away this feeling of, am I missing something, or I'm not prepared? I want you to feel confident, empowered, and proud. All right.